What is next for Kelvin Shepard, the Lions defense, and the Lions organization as a whole? Well, as they start to replace the offensive and defensive coordinators, some of the assistants that have been leaving, the first piece of business will be to replace and kind of reset their coaching hierarchy. We know now that Kelvin Shepard will be the defensive coordinator. They've also promoted from within linebacker coach Sean Dion Hamilton, who was an assistant linebacking coach, sort of in the same realm of Kelvin Shepard, now going into the linebacker unit role. They also hired new defensive line coach Casey Rogers from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He comes from the Todd Bowles system and was another guy that spent time in Miami with head coach Dan Campbell. In my opinion, moving forward so quickly with these coaching hires will set the Lions up for success as this league year ends and the new league year begins. Once the coaching hierarchy is reset, the next thing will be these free agents, looking at the current roster, who potentially could be leaving, who they'd like to re-sign, what players will ultimately make a difference for them heading into next season. They will ultimately then look outside of the organization, and are there any outside pieces that they could then bring in to bolster the offense, or even better, bolster this defense, which is in need. If we've learned anything from the current playoff situation and the teams heading to the Super Bowl, a strong rushing attack and a quality defense is what's going to win you a Super Bowl in this year's NFL. I think the Lions have already accomplished one of those two things with their running back team, their running back duo, but they have still a lot to gain defensively. Then after the free agency period comes the draft, and we know Brad Holmes and this organization's success by building from within the draft, by finding the right players at the right time, and ultimately it's paid dividends here for the Lions. I expect the same in 2025 for the draft. With Kelvin Shepard, the new defensive coordinator, with a very similar philosophy, a lot of the same, I'm sure, terminology will carry over. Yes, there'll be a tweak here and there, and he will, install his version of this defense. Well, now they'll have the entire offseason, free agency, draft, everything that they want to do in front of them to make it exactly what they want as they head into next season.